Okay, before I begin, I have no idea what I did to my camera, but I have somehow drastically improved the fucking quality. I literally have no idea what I did. I have zero fucking clue. But it somehow just looks a lot better, so I'm not complaining. The other day, there was a leak saying among the lines that if Season 3 for Black Ops 6 Warzone fails to meet expectations, then Activision will probably be shutting down Warzone in 2026 whenever MW4 comes out. There was an announcement for Season 3 and the return of Verdansk, so it's very clear that this is a very desperate move from Activision. I can understand where Activision is coming from. They have been declining in player counts for a while now. There's no denying that. It seems Call of Duty has finally jumped on the nostalgia train and are pulling a very desperate nostalgia move to bring players back. Except that's not going to work. And it all ties back to the state of the world whenever Modern Warfare 2019 came out. We were all locked inside of our houses playing games until we were too tired to continue. And Warzone, along with a bunch of other games, peaked at an all-time high. And these companies, for whatever reason, think they can get back to how things were. But times have obviously changed. And people are just not going to stay because they brought back Verdansk. And bringing back Verdansk isn't that great of an idea when you think about it. Verdansk and Modern Warfare had the worst building designs I have ever played on in my entire life. FaZe Jev explains this issue a lot better than I can, but he says that the buildings in Verdansk were designed to punish people for pushing and promote passive gameplay. With the addition of things like the heartbeat sensor, there's really no arguing with FaZe Jev, and everyone looks back way too fondly on Warzone, but if you were one of the unlucky bastards who played this shit back whenever it was still going, hearing Verdansk come back should not be a good thing. For starters, the amount of hackers on Verdansk was fucking insane. The only people happy for the return of Verdansk are hackers because if you were a normal person trying to enjoy this game, you were not going to enjoy this game. It's crazy just how bad, just how many hackers there were back in 2019. Now, sure, they could easily just fix that and just regulate it back, but back then that shit was awful. There were also a lot of mechanics that just made the game not fun if you were the victim. Like, just how easily it was to kill people with the vehicles was fucking insane. It was fun using them, but trying to fight someone who was using it against you was just fucking awful. But there were some great mechanics like the introduction of proximity chat and armor plating. The armor plating was a pretty cool introduction. And other introductions like the supply loadouts was pretty fun. Being able to use specialized loadouts like Dragon's Breath attachments was really cool, considering a lot of these features weren't in the multiplayer and only in Warzone. And I'm not saying this for no reason either, but the reason I say this is because this is what Verdansk brought us the first time we loaded up MW back in 2019. Yes, there was a lot of dumb shit in there, but overall, Warzone back then was just fun as shit. However, it also brings up a new issue with bringing back OG maps. These mechanics and whatnot, they stayed in the game. And the reason why people love Verdansk so much is because it was the feeling of using things like Dragon's Breath or those stupid vehicles for the first time. Bringing all of that back is not going to make people stay with this game. At best, it's going to make some people give the game a shot, but it's not going to last. People don't miss Verdansk, they miss the feeling that it brought us. It was such a mess, but it was honestly some of the most fun I've had on a Call of Duty in a long while. And not to mention the amount of games popping off this year. I mean, Marvel Rivals has been popping off, indie games are at an all-time high, and fucking GTA 6 comes out this year. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone is going to stick it out with Warzone. This might very well be the last year for Warzone because it's not looking good for them. their player count has been dropping, and there have been plenty of rumors throughout the last few years that this was going to be the last Call of Duty. And honestly, I really think that Call of Duty should just take a break. I think they just need to admit that whatever they have been doing for the game has clearly not been working. It's an unfortunate set of circumstances that really just boil down to these games being repetitive. But hopefully I'm wrong in all of this, and hopefully these games continue to succeed. But anyways, that's about it. See ya.